playing like someone's wedding or something.
There's also the distance music and travel. You mentioned a boy at Bronte Beach who shouted out about your music. Have there been times you've been absolutely blown away at where your music's got to?
Yeah. But the other day we were flying to somewhere or other, and we had to land in Iroquois, which is like an Eskimo country. And we'd never heard of this place before. And then there were people like, you know, asking about our music. And that to me was extraordinary. You know, I never thought we'd be big in the Eskimo world, but we're doing all right, you know.
Where was it?
This was a place called Iroquois.
Which is in Alaska?
Not Jamiroquai, that's in England. It's like way up above Canada.
Oh, I see, okay. And why did you land there?
We landed there to refuel.
Where were you going?
To somewhere in America.
Oh, this is obviously a private plane, not a commercial trip.
I don't want to say it.
It's all right, you're allowed to have a private plane.
Well, this is one very special instance.
Because?
Because we were doing something for somebody and it's complicated. It's embarrassing, I don't like to say it.
No, come on, look, you seem very awkward about the
trappings.
The trappings, but I think people understand that you have the trappings.
Well, sometimes we do. Yesterday we didn't. But this time we did. Do we have to talk about this? I do get embarrassed about it. You know why? Because it's embarrassing.
Okay, but in fairness, you've laid out this little idea, this little story. So
okay, well, I could have said we landed in the international terminal. We were on a Ryanair flight.
Yeah. Do
you know what Ryanair is?
No.
Maybe not, okay. It's this really cheap airline where you have to pay for your peanuts.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So, you weren't on one of those?
I wasn't on one of those.
Yeah. So what was it?
So as we were going to do this thing, we were doing this big cancer benefit and we got flown over for it. It's not a treat that you can really take lightly, I don't think.
Well, that's the trappings.
It's crazy, really.
That's the trappings of extreme wealth. I mean, what was it like in there?
Well, it's just like, it's like heaven. With DVDs. You know, I don't know if in heaven you can watch Backdraft.
No, that's hell. That's definitely hell.
But on this one you could. And it's very nice, and people know you, they can't call you by your first name, and they're constantly offering you sushi. It's just delightful. You know? But the funny thing is, even for us, because we don't make quite as much money as everybody thinks. So we actually we wouldn't be able to do that like on a day-to-day basis. But it was very fun, and I really want to stop talking about it now. Okay.
Why are you embarrassed by the trappings, though?
Because I think if you've done well, it's kind of embarrassing, and you have to. Is that the same in Australia?
Yeah, we call it the tall poppy syndrome.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we call it the tall. I don't know. We call it something like that.
Yeah.
We call it the build 'em up, knock 'em down syndrome.
Yeah.
So, I think in America it's different, and if you become successful, you can show it in your videos and everything. But if we did a video with like a Rolls Royce and, 50 girls and, loads of diamonds, we would never be able to go on the streets again.
Michael Stipe was a guest here last year.
Yeah?
And we spoke about the peculiarities of fame, because he had close friends like River Phoenix and Kurt Cobain, who didn't make it through. And he had this to say about how he deals with it. In fact, he was talking about Tom York from Radiohead.
It's really like people that have this very peculiar job coming together and talking. And in that talking, I might have experienced something that Tom York hasn't experienced. I might have gone through a period of self-doubt or searching that he's just come up on for the first time.
What have you learned from your peers?
From Uncle Michael. I've learned a lot from him, actually. He's been amazing to us. All of REM, actually. In fact, all the older boys at school. That's how I always view it, like they're in the class above,
Yeah.
Both quality-wise and also in year groups.
What have they been able to teach you?
Well, exactly like he said, when you say, man, the Sydney, what's the paper here? Morning Herald.
Yeah.
Okay. Just said I was a wanker. and what do I do about it? And they said, well, you know, in 1986, they said I was a wanker. And I'm obviously not a wanker. So, you know, it's very heartwarming to have that. And I think if they weren't so friendly to us, we'd be, you know, in a lot more trouble, and we'd be a lot more depressed about the wealth of opinion that comes towards what is essentially just entertainment that you're trying to produce. You know, it's not really... It fascinates me how much vitriol, you know, films or music can receive, when really, if you don't like it, you don't have to listen to it or watch it.
And indeed, you have Coldplay has copped a fair serve.
Yeah, of course.
And in the last couple of years in particular.
Yeah.
And the tenor of the criticism seems to be that it's hollow, that it's corporate rock, that it's soulless. And yet you're talking about you want to go for something great and really want to try for something special. Is there a passion in you that they're missing?
No, I think, you know, like the kid on Bronte Beach, you know, what you think is what you think. And we try and take listen, behind closed doors and not on TV, it's very hard when you've, like, slaved over something and you love it and you mean it with every inch of your balls, you know. You know, when someone says, oh, they don't mean that, or it's just some corporate thing, but, you know, that's life. And what you can do is it can fire you up even more, you know. I know we're not the Beatles yet, and no one else has to tell me that, but I think it's very I mean, you must have some critics. Do you have any critics? Mm-hmm. Let's get them.
Because I know a lot of people in show business...
Come on, man.
Doesn't matter.
Let's get them.
All right, let's. Now, a lot of people in show business, no matter how much praise they get, but the critics, the words they say, stay emblazoned somewhere in the back of the brain. Is it like that for you? No,
it's a balance. And I don't read anything anymore, but I just assume that there's 50-50. 50% of people who hate us and the other 50 who really hate us. No, I assume as long as there's some kind of balance, as long as you're selling records, you can't really worry about... And as long as people are coming to your concerts and having fun, you can't worry about what some fat guy who doesn't know what they're talking about thinks.
You're getting weightist again.
I'm getting... See, this is coming out of me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be very dignified.
Yes.
But the truth is, you've just got to keep going and...
You seem very... almost defensive about your success. Almost every reference you've made to what you've done has been self-deprecating so far this evening. You're also proud of what you've done?
Of course. And if you come to our concert, you'll see it, you know. It's very hard to believe in it when you're talking about it. When you're singing it, it's a different matter. When we're playing music, I don't think there's anybody, you know, I don't want to be anywhere else in the world, and I'm proud of it to the nth degree. Because it's who I am. It's, you know, I wouldn't have anything in my life without it. I wouldn't have my kids, I wouldn't have these shoes, I wouldn't have anything. I wouldn't have my best friends, you know, in the band, and I wouldn't, you know, so it means everything to me. But it's like, if I got you to sing about your chat show, you might not be so confident.
Oh, no, I'd love to.
Well, let's hear it.
But there's just so little demand for it.
Don't you want to release a World Cup song or a Christmas single?
I would give anything to do what you do for a living, which is to write music.
Really?
To be able to create music.
Well, have you ever tried?
I don't have a musical bone in my body.
Well, that's nonsense, because if you want to do it...
But you said, for instance, it comes easily to you. Yeah. Music comes easily to you. You're sucking something from the air. Something in you is hearing nothing and making it into something. And I think that is, whether you're
Don't you think you could do that?
Not like you, I don't think.
What's your girlfriend called, or your wife? Or can we not talk about that? What's your favourite tree?
My favourite tree?
Yeah.
Would be a liquid amber.
Oh, shit.
Sorry, I was... I didn't mean to make it hard for you.
Well, nothing really rhymes with that.
Sorry, I'll make it easy for you. It's an oak.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
So you just think of an oak and you know, what comes to mind when you think of an oak?
A liquid amber.
Okay. Let's see. So you just be singing liquid amber, liquid amber. Just repeat the word.
Yeah.
This could go on a while because this is a tough one.
No, we're workshopping, it's all right.
Liquid amber, sing to me, you're my very favourite tree. Just start going like that, you see.
Yeah.
You know, that's the chorus, obviously.
Yeah, that's...
And then what you do...
Yeah.
So you've got the chorus.
Yeah, that's...
Then you think about something you've done under the liquid amber.
Yes. That's obviously the explicit lyric version.
You know, liquid amber, friend of mine, where I got stoned for the first time. Could be like that. I don't know if you've done that under a liquid amber. Or where I kissed my favourite girl, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
Something cheesy. Always go cheesy for your first song.
You think?
Of course.
Are you allowed to use, as it's about a tree, are you allowed